and slowly drift off to sleep. And he's definitely not sniffing my toes. Jesus, put the wrist away, Ren. Put it away. What do we tell you? It's too early. The black flag. Leon, the green flag, and then you got red, our red flag. But like, it's a pretty red, it's pink. See, we match. It's our pink flag. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Sleeeeepy. If you are returning, I missed you, sleepyhead. If you are new here, it is nice to meet you, cutie pie. And welcome to the hub of all things oh so cozy, oh so sleepy, oh so sweet. Today, we're going to continue with our baby boo, our big daddy, our sweet angel cherub. Never done anything wrong. He's never done anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. But today we're going to continue playing 14 Days with You. Today we're going to do day 2. So I'm really excited. This is going to be fun. We're going to see what other shenanigans our Rennykins can get us into. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's do it. Alrighty, I'm very excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. I just had to zoom through the beginning all over again because they have an update for day 4. The sounds of birds chirping happily outside pulled me from my slumber as the streaks of sunlight peeked through the blinds of my windows and cast a warm glow across my skin. Glowing. Groggily, I turned on my side and mushed my head into the pillow to block out the light, only to hear the faint sounds of tapping on my left. Cracking one eye open, I was surprised to see the scene in front of me. Ren was already awake, perched against the headboard as he idly scrolled through his phone. It seems he was waiting for me to wake up, judging by how he immediately put his phone down as soon as we make eye contact, and sends me a soft smile. Almost sheepishly, I shoot him an awkward smile of my own before covering my face with the pillow once more. We said we kissed you, kiss, kiss, fall in love. Had Ren been watching me sleep? I hope I wasn't drooling. Morning, Angel. Okay. I didn't mean to laugh like that. His voice pulls me from my thoughts, and I couldn't help but notice just how attractive he sounded in the morning. I can't do it, y'all. Morning, Angel. Nope. Not even gonna try. Love you, though. His gruff, sleepy tone was rather pleasant to hear, and I found myself wanting to continue the conversation. Lifting my head from the safety of my pillow, I was greeted with Ren's soft demeanor once more. I'd appreciate it if you weren't so chipper this early in the morning. You'd be this chipper too if you realized that you weren't murdered in your sleep last night. Which can only mean one thing. He's such a smartass. That creepy guy didn't come back to your apartment last night. He seemed almost smug as he leans closer to me, and it was then that I realized just how pretty he looked underneath the morning light coming from the window. It wasn't fair that he got to look so ethereal and glowing this early in the day, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to praise his looks or throw a pillow at his head. I thought we were gonna get an option. Ren doesn't seem to pick up on my speechless nature though, as he continues to beam down at me with a soft look. Oh. I found myself wanting to look away in fear of making things even more awkward. Oh my god. I guess I did my job, huh? He's a bit too smug. If you ever need my services again, I'd be more than happy to oblige. For free, of course. You're really talkative in the mornings, aren't you? I can't help it. I got to wake up next to a real cutie this morning. Oh, Jesus. Put the Riz away, Ren. Put it away. What do we tell you? It's too early. It is like 8 a.m. and he's like, hey, sweet thing, how you doing? And we're all like, as if noticing how close he was to me, or maybe realizing that he dropped his usual stutter, Ren immediately pulls back and turns his head away. Come back. Come back. I won't bite. I won't bite. Not gonna out myself. Anyway, now that you're awake, would you like to go out for breakfast? I think that cafe near the pier is open now. We can go check it out. Like a date, but only if you want to. Why did he suddenly switch again? I figured we'd at least be a tiny bit closer, especially considering we shared a bed, but maybe I was wrong? You mean the Driftwood Cafe? I don't even know if it's open to the public yet. Really? Well, what better way to find out than by finding out, I guess? Nervous laughter. I roll my eyes at his lame attempt at a joke before groaning into my pillow. Did he seriously want to go out for breakfast this early in the morning? Man, he was seriously a trooper. With a sigh, I reluctantly stood up and stretched my limbs. From that action alone, it was like I could feel Ren's eyes on me. But as soon as I turned my head, he was already staring holes into the blanket with blush on his cheek. Yeah, I don't know if I can make it through. Like he is just... I can't do it, guys. I don't know if I can do it. He's so cute. What am I gonna do? Just melt away? Y'all want me to just melt away? Y'all say goodbye, Sleepy. We love you, but goodbye. He's just too cute. Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I let all my joints pop before breaking the silence one more. So, Driftwood Cafe? In the end, Ren and I decided to walk to the cafe together, considering how the weather was perfect and it wasn't that far from my apartment. Turning to my side, I notice how the pink-haired man tries to not so subtly sneak side glances towards me. The arm at his side practically itches to reach out, and if I knew any better, I would have assumed he wanted to hold my hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold his hand. Give me the option. But instead, he simply tucks his hand into his pocket. When you getting in your own way, baby. You're getting in your own way. But instead, he simply tucks his hands into his pocket and shoots me yet another soft smile. The weather's really nice today, huh? Back to small talk, it seems. Sure is. If I had known it'd be nice and sunny, I would have suggested spending the day at the beach instead. Yeah? Yeah, we could go for a swim or maybe even check out the rock pools. It's been a while since I've been there. Oh, that does sound fun. Sleepy! Leon! Hold on, let me move my big head so I can see Leon. Leon keep hip checking my poor baby, but it's okay because we love Leon. Like, I'm not mad that he's here. Like, I am not mad that I get to spend time with Leon. Sleepy! At the sound of my name being called, I turned on my heels only to find Leon running up to me with a sports bag full of what I assumed to be his volleyball gear. He's a volleyball player. Hey, sunfish, it's good to see you out and about this early. I was just on my way to the beach to meet up with Jaehyun and Teo. Want to tag along? And hey, it's Ron, right? He's so disrespectful. He did that on purpose. It's Ron, right? Ron? Right? Ron? You know it ain't no Ron. And hey, it's Ron, right? Nice to meet you again, buddy. It's Ren, actually. Sunfish? Huh? Oh, yeah. Sunfish is a cheesy nickname Leon gave me when we were kids. I don't really get it either, but to be honest. So, Sunfish and Ren, was it? Sorry about that, bud. I'm not too good with names. Faces too sometimes. But hey, it's good to see you both again. Doing anything exciting today? If not, you can tag along with me and Angelfish. Oh, get him, Big Zaddy. Angelfish and I were about to go on a date, actually. Angelfish? A date? I don't miss the way Ren suddenly pulls my arm closer to his side. Closer. I don't miss the way Ren pulls my arm closer to his side, nor the way he clings onto me as though I'd suddenly disappear. Huh? You're going on dates again, doll. Good for you. I'm glad to see that you're coming out of your shell again. Take good care of me, won't you, bud? What do you think I've been doing ever since you moved away? Ooh, how long you been stalking us? Oh my god! Didn't he move away when we were kids? Is Ren secretly a childhood crush that we just don't remember? Think! What do you think I've been doing ever since you moved away? Like me, Leon barely seems to notice his Ren mumbling as he rests an arm over my shoulder and starts tugging me in the direction of the beach. Ren, on the other hand, still latches onto my arm but doesn't seem to move. I can't believe my little sunfish is out here in the dating scene again. I feel like a proud father. Oh please, we're basically the same age. I feel like a proud adoptive father. Leon pretends to wipe a tear away from his eyes as he leans further into my shoulder, and it was only then that I noticed Ren wasn't following us. Aw, Pookie Poo, are you pouting? Come here, babe. I got you. Come here, babe. Turning around, I reach out to grab his hand instead to tuck him along. He immediately seems to perk up at the action and intertwines his fingers with mine before falling into step. Alright, as fun as it is to catch up with my proud adoptive father, who's the same age as me, which makes things kind of weird, Ren and I do need to get going. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't mean to take up so much of your time. He unhooks his arm from around my shoulder and inclines his head toward the beach one more time. But my offer still stands if you want to catch up sometime. I'll be down at the beach with... Oh god. I know all about you, Teo. You're fine as hell, but you annoying as hell. I can see it. Look at him. Gorgeous and irritating, but not in the fun way. Speak of the devil. Much like Jay, Theodore was another friend I made in university. But if I was being honest here, I don't think he was actually enrolled in anything. He just showed up every so often to keep his attendance rate up and to antagonize some of the students and staff. Oh no. As if reading my mind, Teo practically runs into Ren with the sole purpose of sending him tumbling into the metal railing behind him. Don't bully my boyfriend. But luckily, Ren manages to catch his footing at the last second, sending Teo an annoyed scowl of his own. Oh crap, sorry about that. Not sure how I missed such a brightly colored children's mascot. Why did he come out he came out the woodwork swinging? Like, what is the issue? All right, there's no need for that here. Despite Leon's tone, Teo barely pays the shorter man any mind, seemingly far more interested in Rin instead. Let me guess, you dressed up as Benny the Buttercup? My 4-year-old cousin would love you. Ahoy, knock it off, mate. What's your problem? No, what's yours? I could practically feel the tension between the two grow, so I decided to step in and knock it off. We ain't doing this here, not in public. Maybe when we fight over me later, but not here. Let me go on my date first. Dang. Maybe you should introduce each other first before you try glaring each other to death. Teo, this is Ren. He's my, well, I'm her boyfriend. Ah! Okay, well, that was certainly one way to put it, especially without discussing it with me beforehand and asking my opinion. At his words, I shoot Ren a confused glance, but the determined look on his face had me biting back my words. He said, so you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Okay then. Anyway, this is Teo. How will you respond? He's my friend from university. He's my ex-boyfriend. He's just a fling. I've never seen this. I've never seen this man a day in my life. I have never seen this man in my life. And I've never seen this woman in my life either. You guys are hilarious. With a sigh, I try my best to clear the air of any confusion. Alright. Teo's just a friend from university. Wanna know what's hilarious? Buttercup's outfit over here. What did you just call me? Okay, enough. Look, why don't we just drop the issue? You really need to stop trying to pick fights with everyone, mate. Don't get your panties in a twist. I seriously doubt Buttercup's capable of harming a fly, let alone able to throw a decent punch. You might want to take those words back, babe. You can drop the nickname. Anything for you, Daddy? Nah. But I think Dollface over here should drop you instead. Besides, the nickname's kinda cute. Matches your style pretty well, don't you think? Buttercup. Oh, they about to fist fight on the street. I could see Ren's... Hey, Ren is better than me because I would have thrown hands by now. I could see Ren's hand clench into a fist as he advances towards Leo, but thankfully, Leon steps in once more. Seriously, why don't we all cool off, yeah? I think we're getting a little bit too heated. Look, we're going to head down to the beach. I don't miss the way Leon sends Teo a sharp glare. Are you sure you don't want to join us, Sleepy? I promise to make sure that Teo stays on his best behavior. No. Sorry, Leo, but we've got plans. We've got to go. But we've got to go. And I seriously doubt they'll be able to get along. You know how Teo can get. Yeah, you got a point there. Well, alright then. He leans closer to me, almost as if he doesn't want the other two eavesdropping. If anything happens, I'll be in the area. Just come find me, okay? I will. Thanks, Leon. Hey. You got the... you got our, you got Teo, the black flag. Leon, the green flag. And then you got Red, our red flag. But like, it's a pretty red... It's pink. See? We match. It's our pink flag. But like, in that order. You got black flag, green flag, red flag. God. I give his arm a soft squeeze and turn my attention back to Ren. But by the way he looks at us, I can only assume that he didn't like how close I was standing to my childhood friend. Though that could have also been because Teo was still around, and honestly, I can't blame him. Regardless, I reach for his hand once more and tug him towards the cafe, making a point to ignore Teo's crass words as we went along. We dated him? I notice how Ren's mood immediately changes when my attention is back on him, and he follows along like a lost puppy. I love him. I love him. We eventually arrive at Driftwood Cafe, and the smell of fresh pastries and brewed coffee flood my senses as it wafts through the open windows. And just as I thought, the cafe looks as though it only had recently opened, though it didn't seem as busy or crowded as I anticipated. Pulling me from my thoughts, Rin ushers me into one of the empty tables before he goes off to make an order with a pleased look on his face. How you know what to get me? It's okay. But it was strange how he didn't want me to look at the menu first. But I chalked it up to him wanting to surprise me. That's what I would do. He's barely gone for 5 minutes before he returns once more, taking a seat in front of me with a huff. A comfortable silence washes over us, and I watch as he absent-mindedly fiddles with the end of his hair. Was he still concerned about what Teo said? About his appearance earlier? Maybe it'd be a good idea to take his mind off of it. Hey, Ren. Almost immediately, he perks up with wide eyes. I love him. How do you manage to keep your hair so fluffy? It always looks so good. Ren seems to flush instantly at my word, and he sheepishly ducks his head lower to hide his reddening cheeks. You like it? I usually just angle my blow dryer below my chin and blast the heat, and it just stays like this afterwards. Like the anime character. Oh, so you don't use any products or anything? Not really. Just then, just when I thought he was over his timid personality, it slowly came crawling back. Was this really who he was? Ren must have taken my silence as a lack of response, seeing as he tries striking up another conversation. So, work's going good for you, huh? Finally got that promotion? Ren, you being too obvious. Yeah, I did. I was honestly surprised when I first got my promotion, considering how I've only moved back here recently. But Eleanor's been really helpful by showing me the ropes and... Wait, how did you know I got promoted? Yeah, come on, Sleepy, ask the real questions here, girl. Oh, your coworker told me about it yesterday after you left. Eleanor, right? She seemed really proud of you. Anyway, what were you saying about her showing you the ropes? I barely noticed how he managed to change the conversation back to me, as I recounted all the times Eleanor helped me through my first week of working at the library. It eventually reached to the point where it felt like I had been talking for hours, and it wasn't until something caught my eye that I finally stopped. How did you respond? Oh, look, a cute puppy! That golf style's pretty cute. You got something in your hair. You can't tell me that he isn't a goth. Look at the, let's see. Impulse Sleepy. We're here. We're gonna do Impulse Sleepy. That golf style's pretty cute. A golf style? He also glances out the window and follows my line of sight before landing on the person walking by. They are decked out head to toe in heavy makeup, platform boots, and clothing that can only find the stores at Not Tropic. Not to get confused with their sister store, Hot Topic, where you can get cinnamon rolls. Ren's eyes seem to follow their form until they're out of sight. The impassive look on his face made me curious. Yeah, it is kinda cool. Do you like that kind of style? Because I always thought you preferred something softer. Order 25! Oh, that's us. Wait right here, I'll be back. Before I could get a word in, Ren was jumping out of his seat and meandering his way towards the kiosk. It really was a sight to behold, seeing Ren tower over most of the customers who were waiting in line. Oh, we love our big boy. Even the cashier herself, who seemed to be at least 6 foot tall, had to crane her neck upwards just to look at him. But before I could blink twice, Ren was already on his way back with a large tray full of delicious food. He set himself back in his original spot with a pleased look and begins to lay out the dishes in front of me. Oh, this is a delicious scone, chocolate croissant, a slice of cake, a sugar cookie. Alright. I want some cake today. I'm feeling cake. I want a cake. A generous slice of cake sit next to my beverage, and I almost hear my stomach rumble at the sight. That's a terrible breakfast, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm grown. How did Rin know this was my favorite thing to order? Granted, it wasn't like I've been to the Driftwood Cafe before, but this was usually what I'd order at any cafe. It was honestly like he could read my mind, or he stalked me for many years and I'm just now finding out. Weird. And what's even more mind-boggling was that he didn't even need to look at the menu beforehand. It was like he just knew. Don't forget your drink. Ren shoots me another gentle smile of his before placing my drink before me. No way! It was... coffee, no. Latte, maybe. Soda, no. Smoothie! The inviting aroma of fruit floods my senses, and that alone was what assured me that Ren ordered my favorite smoothie. Just like the ones I usually bring on my way to work sometimes. I hope it was okay. Oh my god. I hope this is okay. Unfortunately, the cafe doesn't have much to offer, judging from the menu I saw online. Ah, so that's how he knew what to order. He got anxiety. He got anxiety. I even tried asking for napkins earlier, but I didn't think you heard. I don't think they heard me. Maybe I should try again? I almost felt bad for him, but I also felt grateful for ordering me something that I'd normally eat at a cafe. Ren making sure everything is on the table before putting the tray aside, and it was then when I noticed what he'd ordered himself. On his plate sat a strawberry sweet roll, alongside a cup of coffee that was an alarming shade of black. Ugh. He seemed to pick up on my inquisitive stare, if the innocent tilt of his head was anything to play by. Do you want my meal instead? We can swap if you want, I don't mind. This is supposed to be a date, right? Deciding to tease him a little, I shoot Rin a sly grin. That's okay, but you could offer me a bite instead. Rin almost seems to combust on the spot as his cheeks turn red, and he almost chokes on his own spit. It's okay, baby. He looks down at his food before glancing at me, only to look down once more to scoop up a bite-sized piece of his food. Give me that strawberry roll. Actually, I do want the strawberry roll. You can have the cake. We can swap. I don't know what your drink though. I watch as Ren's cheeks turn a deep shade of red while he brings the fork closer to me, and not wanting to be seen as a coward, I lean to take a bite. His eyes widen almost immediately, and he seems hyper-focused on the way my mouth wraps around the fork before I lick my lips and let out a pleased hum. Sugoi! It's yummy, try some! The pink-haired man seems to have an awkwardly long staring contest with his fork before scooping up yet another small piece and taking a bite. He said indirect kissing. Didn't we kiss him last night? Why is he so like... Red's cheeks are scarlet red, and he seems almost fidgety with how his legs keep bouncing under the table, so I decide to take pity on him and not tease him for it. With a knowing smile, I start digging into my own meal with a pleased hum. I am in love with him. This is terrible. Eventually, we ended up finishing our meals and decided to do a bit of window shopping to pass the time. I had nothing else to do today, and Ren seemed insistent on spending the rest of his time with me, so I agreed. We passed by a few clothing stores, ice cream stands, surfboard rentals, and many other interesting buildings, though nothing caught my interest. But just as I thought I'd lost all hope, one store in particular catches my eye. In one of the display windows, I spot this cute little rabbit plushie in the style of Haruko's likeness. I mean, it even came with his limited edition sorcerer outfit and everything. I couldn't believe that they were selling these things here, of all places, and at such a cheap price too. Ren seems to take notice of what I was not so subtly gawking at, but before we could enter the store, the cashier walks in front of the display stand and blocks our view. She drops a box of miscellaneous items at her feet and begins stalking the shelf next to the plushies before she finally notices us standing by the window. I didn't miss the way her eyes widen at Ren, obviously taking and immediately liking to him, and almost shamelessly pushing a strand of hair behind her ear before giving him a small wave. She said. Sneaking a glance at the taller man beside me, I noticed how Ren wasn't even paying attention to her, instead keeping himself busy by scratching his jaw and kicking the stray cobblestone rocks at his feet. But the cashier seemed adamant of getting Ren's attention, considering how she felt the need to abandon her spot by the shelves and make her way over towards us. Oh my. Hi there! Welcome to Seaside Trinkets. My name is Olivia. Can I help you with anything? Oh no, we were just looking around, but thanks for... We recently got some new beachwear merch if you're interested in checking them out. Oh, was she seriously ignoring me? Oh, you kind of look like someone I know. Have we met before? Maybe we went to the same school. Me? I don't think so. Really? I definitely would have remembered a face like yours. Hold on, I gotta play Screen Hop. Quit playing. Actually, now that I get a good look at you. I watch as she shamelessly takes in Rin's appearance before crossing her arms over her chest and leaning back. You also remind me of one of those characters from a cartoon that's been gaining a lot of traction here. Apparently, one of the locations from the show is based on Corland Bay main beach. Okay, we're getting a little... I feel like that's something to keep. Something to keep. Are you talking about Attack on Giant? Is that the name of it? Then yeah. I don't really know how much about these cartoons, but our company recently started selling some stuff to entice the tourists. Do you want to come inside and take a look? Actually, do you want my number as well? Here. You know what? I'm mad that she just blatantly ignoring me because like you just stepping on my man pretending like I'm not even here. That's one thing. But she got some balls. I mean, am I mad she's stepping on my man? Hell yeah. But can I respect the game? A little bit. A little bit. If it was real life, she'd definitely catch in these hands though. You have this prepared? Of course. You always need to be ready in case any cuties walk into the store. Well, I wouldn't want to sound like a hypocrite or anything. Ren looks at me with a shy, knowing look before he hesitantly reaches out to take the piece of paper. What did he mean by that? Before I even get the chance to ask, Ren already answers my silent question with red cheeks and a crooked smile. This is embarrassing, but I also had my number prepared for when we met at the library yesterday. Here. He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a folded pink sticky note of his own before handing it to me, alongside Olivia's number as well. Huh? My confusion must have been blatantly obvious since Ren was quick to explain his intentions. With a mischievous grin, he leans closer and whispers into my ear. Maybe we could prank call her later. That'll teach her not to give her numbers out to strangers. But isn't that what you did with me, Ren? I match his teasing smile with my own. Touché, but I haven't received any prank calls from you, though. Don't jinx it. Just as Ren let out a puff of laughter at my joke, Olivia cuts him off. Hello, I'm still here. Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, now that you got my number, I've got your attention again. I think it's only fair I show you around the store. I don't do this for just anybody, you know. Ren doesn't seem to answer her initial question, nor does he seem to outright respond to her, and instead cast an inquisitive glance in my direction. It was like he was asking for my opinion, and I can only assure it was because he knew of my interest in anime. It was thoughtful of him to do that, but I kinda wanted him to tell the rude worker off instead. Wait, did I really want him to do that? What's wrong with me? I'm sure that the cashier just took an interest in him, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like we're a couple anyway, but we were supposed to be on a date, right? And Ren did declare himself my boyfriend earlier. Back up off my man. But I just assumed he said that in order to get Teo off my back. Does that mean he was feeling the same way as me? Was jealousy on his mind when he was talking to Leon and Teo earlier? I wasn't sure how I felt about this new discovery. Sleepy? Uh-huh? Do you want to look at the items? We've still got a bit of time to kill. Here, why don't I show you the most recent stock? We haven't shown this to the general public yet, but I'm sure you'll love it. Without warning, Olivia, was that her name? Reaches out for Ren's arm and practically drags him inside the store. Alright. It's one thing to be talking, but it's another to touch my man. That's another. Now, I look cute, but I ain't scared to throw hands. I'm not afraid to throw hands, ma'am. You'll know where I'm from. She'll know. I'm from the suburbs. Get off my man. He lets out a surprise sound before leaning back and trying to grab hold of my arm as well, but I was just out of reach. He said no. You know what? I think I would be entertained by that. But I would still be ready to throw hands with her, I'm not gonna lie. There was nothing else I could do but watch as Ren helplessly gets pulled into the store. Poor baby. It's back here in the stock rooms. Usually we don't allow customers downstairs, but you're a real hottie, so I'll let you take a sneak peek. What you gonna do to him in them stock rooms, girl? No, actually, I'm good. Don't worry, we won't get caught. I'm sure your girlfriend won't mind if I borrow you for just a bit. Yes, I will. I even throw in some free cartoon stickers for you. Surely that'll make it worth your time? Don't be Olivia, okay? Don't be Olivia. There's other men, other fine men you can shoot your shot with, but don't be an Olivia, okay? The wink she sent him felt a little excessive, and I honestly wished Ren would turn around so I could gauge his reaction. But instead, he leans in closer to her face and whispers in a hushed tone that could barely hear from the spot outside the store. Y'all think he's crazy, but I think I like his crazy. I think I like his crazy. I think I can get with his crazy. I think I can get with this crazy. If she wasn't right now, I would have down the stairs without a thought. And honestly, they're nothing more than I'd rather do. Oh. Huh? From their current position, it looked as though they were having a really intimate conversation, and I felt the sudden urge to look away. Why was I getting so bothered over this? I know we weren't exactly together, but Ren shouldn't be off flirting with other people while on a date with somebody else. Don't worry, girl, he just threatened somebody. What's the difference? I would never want to be in a relationship with someone who wasn't considering of my feelings. I would never want to be in a relationship again because I dated Teo for some ungodly reason with someone who wasn't considerate of my feelings. And up until now, I honestly thought Ren would have a chance. I guess I was wrong. But still, there was this nagging voice in the back of my head that kept telling me not to give up on him so easily. Ren was the one who confidently stood his ground when Teo got a bit suggestive, so maybe I should do the same? Would he even mind? Before I can stop myself, my feet start to move on autopilot as I march towards the two of them and reach for Ren's sleeve. I give a hesitant tug, and I swear I could almost feel the relief wash over his body because of it. Ren and Tyre's demeanor seems to change in that moment, and he turns to me with a relieved smile on his soft features. I don't really have any interest in this store. Can we go somewhere else? Yeah, of course. Wait, hold on. Ren carelessly shoves Olivia's outstretched hand aside and gently places an arm over my shoulder instead, as it should be. This is my man, and he know he's my man. It's my type, nigga, that's my type. And just like that, he's already guiding me out to the store and back into the busy street. I could hear Olivia sputter out confused sounds, watches the two of us leave, and I suddenly felt guilty for causing a rift between them. He don't know her! He don't know her! He knows us! He knows us, and he was on a date with us. Maybe before 2019 Sleepy, but not post. We're not doing it. Sorry, baby girl. No matter how many times I tried to brush it aside, I still couldn't get my mind off of what had occurred earlier. What if Ren was interested in her? Granted, he probably shouldn't have blatantly flirted with her while on a date with me, but he wasn't exactly the most confident guy. Would he still be able to talk to her again if things didn't work out between us? No, I shouldn't be thinking like that. Peering up to gauge his expression, I noticed how he didn't really look all upset about leaving her. If anything, he seemed rather content to be walking down the street with his fingers intertwined with mine once more. Occasionally I get these, I get cuteness aggression with him, and cuteness aggression and cuteness melting. Like I literally just feel like I want to melt away. I could feel him give my hand a protective squeeze as he looks down at me with soft blue eyes, and all of my worries somehow melt away. Maybe I did make the right choice after all. It might have been selfish, but it was worth it having Ren look at me with such a gentle expression. Eventually, the sun starts to set behind the ocean as Ren and I continue to walk along the beach walk. Most of the conversation geared towards me and my interest again, but every time I tried to learn more about Ren, he only seemed to divert the conversation back to me once more. But the more I focused on this odd behavior, the more I began to pick up on his social habits as well. I learned that Ren would suddenly pick at his sleeves of his cardigan whenever he got nervous, or he'd scratch at his jaw whenever the conversation strayed down the path that he didn't feel comfortable with. His little quirks told me more about himself than the dead-end conversations that only led back to me, and I was content with knowing more about him than I did yesterday. That's really sweet. We're kind of a nice person. Ren no longer felt like a stranger I'd met at a library, but rather someone I could consider a friend. A boyfriend? Except friends aren't supposed to get jealous whenever they see them flirt with someone else. Jeez, what was wrong with me? It had barely been 2 days and I was already contemplating whether or not I truly saw Ren in a romantic light. I'm a Pisces. I see it. Give him to me. Give him to me. Please, for the love of God, please. Was I going too fast? All of these thoughts were starting to get a bit overwhelming and... Angel? Hello? Huh? You're spacing out on me again. There's that look again. He keeps peering down at me with so much adoration in his eyes, and if I didn't know any better, I would think that he was already halfway in love with me. But that was a very conceited thought and probably wasn't even true. My toxic trait. Sorry, I was just thinking about things. Are you gonna share those things with the rest of the class? He sends me a playful smile and a gentle nudge into my side, and I couldn't help but laugh. When did we become so comfortable with each other? And when did he lose his stutter? Give me emo Ren. I want it. Give me. Gimme. It's nothing really. Maybe a bit embarrassing, but... Well, I was wondering... How do you feel about... My sentence get cut short when a drop of rain lands on my cheek. Instinctively, I look up and find myself wondering how I didn't notice those dark clouds in the sky sooner. All of a sudden, more droplets fall down until it's all but pouring rain and forcing everyone in the area to find cover. Over here. Ren doesn't seem to pay much attention when he grabs me by the hand and pulls me underneath one of the awnings in the nearby building. Give me a CG! He shields me from the rain with his body, and I couldn't help but feel tiny with the way his arms cage me in as he rests them against the wall. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Ah! Cutie pie! Don't blink at me. Oh, don't look at me. Oh my goodness. I can't take it. I don't know what to do. Okay. We look at each other in silence for a brief moment before erupting into laughter. Perhaps it was because of the adrenaline from the panicked running or the fact that Ren's hair was starting to lose its fluffiness. I couldn't hold back from letting out a fit of giggles. This only seems to spur Ren on as well, until we've both wheezing out our lungs and gulping down air. Oh no. I can't remember the last time I ran that fast. Me too. The looming sound of thunder echoes from afar and drowns out our laughter until we're both silenced once more. Once we both calm down, Ren moves me further away from the rain before casting a glance behind him. Wait here, I'll go buy us an umbrella so we can get out of this rain. But you'll get soaked. Tis a sacrifice I'm willing to take. I roll my eyes at his corny joke and send him off with an amused smile. He makes me blush. He's up there. He's in the ranks. I think I got 3 now. Oh god, this is terrible. Just adding to the husband. He doesn't look back before he makes a mash dash out into the rain and down the street towards the closest convenience store. Though the rain only seems to get heavier by the moment he leaves, I find myself pressing even further against the wall behind me to avoid the recoil of the rain bouncing off the pavement. There wasn't much for me to do while I was waiting for Ren to return, aside from watching people scramble around for shelter. And just like that, the carefree sound... I don't want Taylor. Send him back. I don't want him. I don't want him. And just like that, the carefree sounds of laughter echoing down the street capture my attention as I watch Leon, Teo, and Jay all run for cover like their life depended on it. Well, seems as though their beach outing got cut short as well. Glancing back one more, I barely make out the figure of Leon using his bag as a makeshift umbrella as he dunks under one of the awnings of an ice cream stand. All while Teo and Jay trail behind at a leisurely pace, kicking and splashing water at each other in the rain. Children. I had to look away the moment Teo started to remove his shirt, and I had an inkling that was just so he could show off. I have high cheekbones, so it looks like I'm smiling, but I'm not. That's my look of disgust. And knowing Jaehyun, he'd follow along without a care in the world, because that's just, he always does this when it comes to his friends. A part of me felt like calling out to the group to see if I could wait out the storm alongside them, but they all seemed to enjoy themselves and I didn't want to get between that. Plus, I did promise Ren I'd wait for him here. Even if he's taking his sweet time. Was he even going to return? There was no sound of him or his comfy looking cardigan. And I was beginning to wonder if he really did ditch me. Our confidence is not there because we didn't do anything that... Men are weird. After all, it has been more than 15 minutes by now. Oh, everybody probably got all the umbrellas. What if he got caught up with something? Or what if he went back to see that cashier lady again? Her store did happen to be on the same street. But after spending the afternoon with Ren and getting to know him, I concluded he wasn't the type of person to do such a thing. Plus, that'd be really low blow considering he was the one who offered to take me on a date today. If I was being honest with myself, it did seem as though they had chemistry. When he said he was going to shove her down the stairs, was that the chemistry? Especially with how she looked at him and touched his arm as though it was the most natural thing in the world. She apparently knew him as well, or at least he looked recognizable enough. Why did that thought make my blood boil? Thankfully, the rain was there to cool me off, as well as soak the ends of my outfit and make everything feel damp and uncomfortable. Was Rin really coming back? It shouldn't take this long to buy an umbrella. Oh, that would be so sad. I'll wait for him. Maybe something did come up. I'm sure he'll come back. And as if on cue, I spot a familiar patch of pink hair from within the misty rain, frantically sprinting with an umbrella in one hand and a bag under the other. Angel, Sleepy! He almost slams into me before stopping just in time, and I could tell by the way he was wheezing that he ran all the way back without stopping. Oh, sorry, I thought I almost lost you there for a sec. It's so hard to see in this weather. Jeez, Ren, what took you so long? 20 minutes? Oh my god. I almost wanted to cuss him out for taking well over 20 minutes just to buy a single umbrella, but the genuinely apologetic look on his features made me hold my tongue. Sorry, I ran into your friends from earlier, which took forever for me to shake them off. And then the convenience store ended up closing early due to the sudden weather change. And then I had to go to that awful souvenir shop with the obnoxious and clingy cashier again, and he was talking a mile a minute, and I was worried he ended up biting his tongue. Gently, I raised a hand to signal him to calm down, and his intense monologue soon came to a halt. I'm really sorry about making you wait so long, bud. Ta-da! I did manage to get an umbrella, along with some other things as well. He gives me a small twirl of his hands, sending several droplets all over the place. We can start heading back home now if you want, unless you want to go somewhere specific. We can go to my apartment, we can go to your apartment. Where do you want to go? Forget it, I'm going home alone. Aww! I want to go to your apartment. My apartment? Sure, it's not that far away. We could wait out the storm there if you'd like. I even have a heater and a dryer you could use. The image of me sitting in front of a warm, cozy heater is too hard to resist, so I end up eagerly stepping under Ren's umbrella while he leads the way. Does it go to show how thirsty I am for him that I just kind of immediately, I didn't even hesitate with that answer. I said, let's go to your apartment. I want to see your apartment. Despite the heavy downpour of rain, we managed to make it to Ren's apartment complex in one piece. I guess he really wasn't lying when he said his apartment wasn't far from mine. Oh, he's right across the street. But judging from the pristine interior and fully functioning elevator, his building seemed to be in far better shape compared to my apartment. The elevator ride could have been a little less awkward though, if it weren't for the slow ascent and tacky music. Or for the fact that Ren deemed it appropriate to shake his hair like a wet dog and get water droplets everywhere. Even. Once the elevator door slides open, I was immediately met with the grandiose corridor and large spacious doors, and I found myself wondering how much it costs to live in a place like this. Ren. Don't look too hard at how messy my place is, okay? I wasn't expecting to have someone over today, so I didn't bother cleaning up. I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu. Thankfully, I don't have any white-haired neighbors who like to take their pants out on walks. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a bit strange, but no one lives on this floor aside from me. I'm not really sure why, but I'm not gonna complain. I can make as much noise I want, no one can notice. Ren shoots me a mischievous grin. And I wonder what he means by that. Like, music and stuff? Movies? Yeah! Like, loud music and stuff? Movies! Right, Ren? Yeah, something like that. It's always the fake shy boys. Never trust the fake shy boys. They're the freakiest. He unlocks the door with an electric card attached to his keychain. And the moment the door swings open, I let out an audible gasp. Ren doesn't seem fazed in the slightest as he flicks on the light and walked into his own home, but I could only stand in the entrance of his foyer in shock. His foyer! He had the whole dang foyer in his apartment. Was this even an apartment? Surely a penthouse would have made more sense. Holy crap, Ren! Is there something wrong? What is it? I know the door is kind of tacky, but it came with the apartment, and I haven't had time to do anything about it yet. I'm sorry, but are you the long-lost heir of a billionaire or something? This place is huge! And hello, is that marble? No, I get paid a lot for my job, enough to afford rent at least. That's why he's so skinny. He said, I just pay rent, I don't eat. And it's right across the street from your apartment, and I can look in your windows at night. You know, I don't think I've asked you this yet, but what exactly is your job? My job is, well, I guess you could say I'm a programmer. I don't know. I just take on a few jobs every so often. Nothing super fancy or anything. What you programming? You know, this is my first time. Is this my computer dirty? No, this is my first time seeing like he has snake bite scars. I need to see real Ren. I want to see real Ren. It's nothing super fancy. Ren, you have marble flooring! Leaving the newly discovered programmer at his entrance, I curiously venture into his apartment. Marble's a pain in the rear to clean up too. Oh, Angel, do you want slippers? The floor can get cold. And your shoes are probably soaked, right? Turning around, I noticed Ren opening a small closet and pulling out a pair of dark house slippers. He looked at me with a curious expression, but makes no effort to hand them over. Only if you want them. I'll take them, but only because they look like they're Gucci. Ren lets out a puff of laughter through his nose at my joke, but doesn't seem to deny it. They are Gucci. He said, were these slippers really from a luxury brand? I put them on. I notice how they are my exact size. And it makes me wonder if he had bought a bunch of expensive house slippers in varying sizes. But as funny as that imagery was, how did Ren accurately guess my shoe size without seeing my feet? He can look down. Here, why don't I show you the bathroom? I'll find you something to wear in the meantime while your clothes are in the dryer. Or would you prefer a towel instead? I guess that'd make more sense. Sorry, I don't usually invite people over. Seeing his timid side resurface once more gave me an urge to tease him. Ooh, just a towel. Is it Egyptian cotton? Don't you have any friends? Am I your first house guest? I'm a smartass. Is it Egyptian cotton? Is it Egyptian cotton? Egyptian cotton? What's that? It's kind of in the name, Ren. Well, I don't think my towels come from Egypt. I mean, that's pretty far away, and I can only imagine how expensive their shipping would be. You know what? Forget I asked. He actually looked like he was considering the question. I just had to roll my eyes in good humor. Especially at his comment on shipping being expensive. What were shipping costs to him if he could afford a place like this? So, anyway, I'll show you to the bathroom. You can use it whenever you want in there. Nothing is off limits. First, it was an offer to spend the night at my place, and then asserting himself as boyfriend in front of my friends. He really doesn't care about personal boundaries, huh? I was beginning to think that Ren really didn't seem to mind when it came to me invading his personal bubble as well. Though, he still seemed pretty standoffish around Teo and Leon, and it took him a while to warm up to Eleanor back at the library. He even seemed different when he first met Violet, but I figured it was only because he was shy. Speaking of shy, I noticed how Ren didn't seem to be switching up his personality as much anymore, and I was beginning to think he was showing me the real side of him. Up until now, everything felt real and genuine, and I found that he could bounce back witty retorts between each other more easily. I love that. Though, every now and again he might slip up and stutter, but I just assumed it was because my teasing made him flustered. So, maybe the timid side of him was genuine after all. But I'll leave you some clothes for you outside, and put the plushie I bought for you in your room. Huh? Oh yeah, thanks. My room? I had to go back. I had to go back and see. Okay. Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks. Great. I was zoning out again and completely missed half of what he said. Yo, room, girl. Something about clothes and a plushie he bought me. Was he talking about the Haruko plushie I was eyeing earlier? He was carrying a gift bag from that souvenir shop earlier. Did he really buy me that toy? Ren, however, doesn't seem to pick up on my confusion though, and invitingly opens the bathroom door for me with a soft smile. And so, without trying to make things awkward, I quickly slip inside and lean against the door for support. Which was fortunate because one sweep of the bathroom had me stumbling back in surprise. Oh, tell me he got a nice bath. I don't want a shower, give me a bath. I want a bathtub, I'm soaking. Oh, whoa. Even this restroom looks expensive. I was afraid of touching anything, fearing I'd accidentally break it or end up paying for it. Glancing around again, I noticed his countertop seemed to avoid any dental care, hairbrushes, and skincare products, though a few bottles of concealer and an open jar of hair dye sat on the corner of near the sink. Well, I guess that answers my burning question on whether or not he had naturally pink hair. But now it made me wonder, if Ren does dye his hair, then what was his natural hair color? There were so many things I didn't know about that soft-looking guy, and I was beginning to question whether coming here was a good idea or not. With a sigh, I decided not to waste any more time thinking about irrelevant things, and instead turned my attention back to that nice shower that I could take a seat in. Quickly stripping out of my clothes, I jump into the unnecessarily large glass booth and turn it on. Why is it so big? Like, is there a reason? Is there going to be a scene? Because that would be fun. Glancing at Ren's shelf of, albeit limited, hair product and body products, I couldn't help but notice that one brand in particular just so happened to be the exact same as mine. Did we use the same body wash? He didn't really smell like me, but maybe that was because I wasn't paying much attention. I mean, who randomly smells people out of the blue anyway? I would smell him. He looked like he smelled good. Shaking my head at such a silly notion. I began to scrub away the lingering smell of rain from my body and quickly finished washing up. Bundled up in a warm towel, I crack open the large door and poke my head out onto the hallway. True to his word, Ren left a small pile of clothes outside the bedroom. His clothes are gonna be like floppy because they're so big. Neatly stacked and propped against the side of the wall. Bringing the contents back inside, I noticed one piece of clothing in particular was a rather comfy looking hoodie. But the design on the front, however, was rather morbid looking and didn't really suit Ren's vibe. Maybe it's from a horror film or something? Shrugging my shoulders, I put the hoodie on and instantly get enveloped by the sheer amount of fabric. I mean, it would make sense, Ren's large and lanky frame, but this was just absurd. I had to stifle a laugh from the amusing sight of the fogged up mirror, but I had to admit that the soft fabric felt nice and warm against my skin. Even the scent that came from it felt oddly comforting somehow. Turning back to the remaining clothes in the pile, I gently pick up the next item and try to put it on. The gray sweatpants didn't seem to fit in length of my legs despite the number of times I tried to roll up the elastic, but luckily, Ren was thoughtful enough to give me some alternatives. The dark pair of shorts seemed to be a better option, especially since it came with a drawstring and deep pockets. Why do I need that? Why do I need that? Once I was fully dressed, I stepped out of the bathroom and aimlessly walked around until I heard the faint sounds of the TV playing. Bay is rich. You know, I don't see any red flags. I don't see it. I don't see color. Feeling curious, I followed the source of sound down the hallway. Breaking news, a sudden storm hits the bay, and a gale force winds and knock over street signs and even awnings. It's belonged to the sudden change of weather, die down soon, and to stay safe indoors. I continue to follow the noise until it suddenly cuts out and changes into a glaring monotone sound, indicating the television must have lost all signal. And soon enough, I find myself in Ren's spacious lounge room. Aside from the TV, the rest of the lights were off, but I could still make out most of the dark shapes within the room with ease. It was just as ostentatious as the rest of his house, though I couldn't help but feel like it lacked any form of life. It just didn't seem like someone actually lived here. The furniture was gaudy, yet tasteless. There was hardly any personal decoration or colors, and there was nothing that really screamed Ren to me. There was no personal touches, photos, items, hobbies, nothing. Just tacky furniture and the bland smell of something sterile. If I was being honest, it gave off the same vibe as a dentist office or a hospital. I mean, he did mention recently moving in, right? Maybe that's why. First of all, you didn't have to give me the little peeky poo. You didn't have, y'all can't see my mouse, but you know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. Y'all didn't have to give me a little peeky poo. Use it. And thank you for putting him in black clothes, because like I feel like my baby is, he gives me crawling in my skin, and I need to know. I need to be proved right. Who moved in? Surprised by the sudden voice, I spin on my heels only to find Ren coming out from the hallways with a new set of comfy clothing. He seemed much more at ease like this, especially with a gentle expression on his face. I watch as he takes a respectful glance at my attire before sheepishly averting his attention to the ends of his sleeves. Sorry, that's the only pair of clothes I could find that might fit you. It looks really good on you though. Oh, thanks. You can even keep it if you want. Okay. The sound of thunder rumbling in the distance cuts off Ren's mumbling, and I involuntarily step closer to him. Without missing a beat, he reaches out to rest a protective hand on my shoulder to steady me. Ren idly glances out the window before turning his undivided attention back to me once more, only this time with a determined look. It's really boring, huh? I could only nod my head at his words, suddenly feeling sheepish all of a sudden. I really should have checked the weather forecast before I went out today. But to be fair, it didn't look as though I'd start spontaneously raining when I left my apartment this morning. And I guess I was enjoying my time with Ren to the point where I didn't even realize the weather was turning sour. Angel? Sorry, what do you say? I just asked if you wanted to stay the night here. You know, seeing how hard it's raining out there and your clothes haven't finished drying yet. It'd be no trouble and I could return the favor considering how you let me stay at your place yesterday. Staying at his place for the night? Well, it certainly wasn't how I expected to end my day, but would it really be that bad? It definitely beats waiting out the storm and walking home with a hunch of puddles everywhere. I guess we'll spend the night. Wait, what was that? Did I really want to stay the night at Ren's place? I guess I did. I don't really remember otherwise. I guess I could stay if that's really okay with you. Wow, he really was an energetic, eccentric man, wasn't he? Let me know if you need any more pillows or blankets, or if the room gets too cold. I haven't worked out how to use the fancy heater system yet, but I could definitely try. Also, you already know where the bathroom is, but if you... Okay! I think I got it, Ren. I shoot him a reassuring smile as I turn to face him at the door. I should have gotten used to his attentive and observant behavior by now, but it still seemed like a foreign side of him that I haven't fully uncovered yet. Still, at least he wasn't a stuttering mess anymore. I know, sorry. I just want you to be as comfortable as possible, so just treat this house like it's your own. Alright, gotcha. It looks like he doesn't want to leave and instead lingers in the front door a little longer. Are you sure that... Ren, just stay. You can ask to stay, baby. It's okay. Are you sure there isn't anything else you need? Anything at all? Can I get a goodnight kiss? Can I sleep in your bed instead? What's behind the locked door? No, I'm good. What locked door? Can I sleep in your bed instead? You want to... in my room? Did I just say that? I can't keep letting these intrusive thoughts win. I can. I don't mind, but what's wrong with the guest bedroom? He peers behind my head to glance around to the room behind me before sheepishly meeting my gaze once again. Nothing's wrong, I just I wanted to tease you a little bit is all. Sorry, I don't really know why I said that. Oh, I see. Don't worry about it then. So you don't want me to sleep with you? To be honest, I kinda enjoy it when you tease me. Well, if everything's okay, I guess I'll let you get some sleep then. Yeah, okay. I was serious, I want to sleep in your bed. Alright then. Great. I excessively made the mood completely mortifying again. Good night, Sleepy. Sweet dreams. Good night. I watch in silence as Ren turns on his heels and makes his way towards his own room down the hall. Shaking my head at his odd behavior, I close the door behind me and slowly make my way towards the bed. I noticed that Haruko plushie Ren had bought me earlier was sitting on top of the sheets, and I gently bring it closer to my chest and give it a soft squeeze. So, he really did buy this for me after all. The faintest hint of cherry and mint emits from the toy, and it makes my mind drift to the thoughts of the strange, pink-haired man once more. He was still as odd as usual, but some parts of him were starting to feel rather endearing. I noticed how he was no longer stuttering as much or acting as shy, and it made me wondering if we were getting closer. Now that I really thought about it, how did I feel about Ren? Don't ask me. I'm crushing on him. I think I like him. I think it's alright. He's kind of creepy. I think I'm crushing on him. Okay, so maybe I did find him rather endearing and attractive. Rin was very considerate and attentive towards me during our date, and I could see myself wanting to go on another date in the near future. He certainly had boyfriend potential, but I still needed to work the nerve to make it lead towards that direction. He seemed far too hesitant to do it himself, but it would have been nice to see him put up more effort into it as well. Well, just knowing Ren wanted to spend the entire day with me is enough. Rolling onto my side, I hug the plushie closer so I can be surrounded by his comforting scent and slowly drift off to sleep. And he's definitely not sniffing my toes. Alright, y'all. I just so happen to be in love with him. He's never done anything wrong. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Look at him. Yeah, we don't have to worry about it. Like, he's fine. He's fine. I love the expansion of this world. Like, I'm assuming that the game's probably going to be 14 days because it's 14 days with you. So for us to be only up to day 4 and to have such a, like, to have such a rich cast, to have such a, like, a rich story, and, like, I love it. I love it. Like, there's a lot of games like this, but this one it's doing this thing. It's doing this thing, and I love it. It's thangin'. The thing is thangin'. I hate Teo, but if you can make me hate the character I'm supposed to hate, that's a good job. And I don't like that girl who was all up on my man. But whatever, that's okay. I am so excited to see what we're going to expand towards in day 3 and 4. And then the next 14 days with you is going to be the part 2 of day 2. And then, you know, it goes on and on like that. Because it's easier for me because I'm a sleepy baby and I can only record for so long. Like this one, this is a 2-hour recording. I love y'all. And that's, 1 hour and 45 minutes. I was being dramatic, but still. Anywho. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I love seeing your face. I love having you here. I love being oh so sleepy and oh so cozy. And remember that day by day, moment by moment, we are blossoming like a flower of lavender, calm, collected, and fragrant. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!